going to, I believe it's called Fluelen. And your name first is
Marcus Ernst.
And in order for me to pick up the sound, I think I'm going to need to move over close.
Marcus Ernst.
Marcus, what can you tell us about the trip between Lucerne and Fluelen here?
Well, this is a trip on the lake of Lucerne. It's the center of Switzerland, and it's also the place where actually almost 700 years ago this country has been founded.
And some of the mountaintops that we'll see traveling down the trip here will be...
Well, we just left Fitznau a few minutes ago. And at the back of Fitznau you could see the Rigi, which is actually the mountain where the first cogwheel railway in the world has been made to go up there. I guess it's a little bit more than 100 years ago. We will also pass by the place where those three originators of Switzerland have been swearing to stay together and to found Switzerland. And later on we will have a view to the Gotthard Massif, which is actually the mountain, the main barrier between Northern Europe and Italy.
And if someone were coming to visit this area, they'd want to take this boat ride as a part of their tour, wouldn't they?
Yes, it's always recommended when you're visiting Lucerne to also at least take a ride on the lake, on a boat ride, preferably with one of those 5 steamboats that are all restored and in perfect condition. And actually they are the only steamboats on any lake on Switzerland that are still on regular use.
In the history of Switzerland itself, Switzerland, before it became in existence 700 years ago on its own, was ruled by the Habsburg family, I believe. Can you give us a little history about that and before that?
Well, I'm not very expert in history, frankly speaking, but it is definitely the Habsburg family that was ruling this country before. But 1291, when the origin of Switzerland was only consisting of 3 cantons. This is our name for what you call states in the United States. And the size of Switzerland right now, this is only after 1845, when there was that famous so-called Vienna Congress. And the cantons, they were joining Switzerland by and by, mainly in the 14th, 15th and 16th century. But the last canton joining Switzerland was only in 1845.
Can you tell us about William Tell and the story behind that?
Well, William Tell is a saga. There is only evidence that there has been such a man that killed one of those Habsburg people. Whether his name was really William Tell or not is not historically proven. And also the famous story about Wilhelm Tell is actually not historical, but it is written by Friedrich Schiller, the famous German writer. But never mind, we are treating William Tell as our national hero.
One question that might come to mind of general nature, give us a little background about the cultural, economic, and other pertinent facts about Switzerland that might be of interest to those residents of the United States.
Well, the most important thing is that Switzerland also is not a nation just consisting of one tribe of people. We have 4 different official languages in our country. About 70% of our citizens, they have a German mother tongue. Another 25% they have French mother tongue. Then we also have people speaking Italian, or a very special language, Roman. About the economy of Switzerland, our most important industry right now is machinery. Second is pharmaceutical and chemical, and of course also tourism still plays a very important role in our economy. Switzerland is not a part of the European community, since one of the rules of joining this EC is giving up our neutrality, which we carry on now for more than 400 years, and Switzerland is not yet willing to surrender this neutrality policy.
In Kentucky, the state that I'm from, we have a little area down in Laurel County known as the Swiss Colony, and these are folks that came over from Switzerland and are now residents of Kentucky, and are very proud of their Swiss heritage. Do you remember some of the conditions that might have brought them to the States originally?
Yes, of course, because actually Switzerland has no natural resources at all. Therefore, about 100 years ago, or a few years more, the economic conditions in Switzerland, they were very, very bad, very hard. So plenty of people, they were actually forced to emigrate, preferably to United States. Some of them, they also went to South America, where they are still living now, and of course they are a long time ago citizens now of those countries.
I'm confident that those people would enjoy a trip back to see Switzerland today, and I'm sure that many of them have come back to see Switzerland, and this boat ride would be a most enjoyable and pleasurable time for them.
It's definitely one of the nicest spots in Switzerland. Unfortunately today we haven't got very fantastic sunshine, but if the sun would also shine a little bit, it's definitely one of the nicest places to go in Switzerland.
And I understand that further down the road here on our trip, that you can take a shuttle or a lift to the tallest mountain, or one of the tallest mountains, the Titlis, I believe it is, or is that one of the taller mountains that?
Well, actually, the very tallest mountains, there is no lift or cable car to go up there. But to say the Titlis is one of the highest where you can go by a mechanical way, because the real high ones there you have to climb yourself.
And I believe if on a clear day, if you were at the top of the Titlis, that you could also see the tops of the Matterhorn and the Eiger and some of the other tall mountains. Is that correct?
Yes, you can definitely see them.
Fantastic. We're really looking forward to the rest of our trip. And what is your address here in this area?
I'm living in Matte 3 in Hergiswil, Nidwalden, which is actually one of those 3 cantons I mentioned before that were part of the original Switzerland.
We thank you very much for your time and the information that you provided us.
I thank you too, and I wish you a pleasant trip and a nice day in Switzerland.
Thank you very much.
Ja, vi kan bara säga att
They have actually also a very big lake there. Actually, some of the highest mountain is near the lake. Actually, the vine This is the highest actually, but it's over 5,000.
Ja, dan hebben we gewoon auto's. Heel veel als er is 2 euro, dan kan
You can see it from none of them
How was your sausage?
I don't know.
This is the soup. It's cold, but it's still delicious. It was wonderful having that interview. I'm thrilled with it. Ah, yes.
Who do you love?
Who do I love? I love June Stevenson. Hey, June.
Hey, gang schnell zum Vortrag und
Soup's
dann
delicious.
alle 40 Minuten Kose könnte.
Isn't it?
Die anderen haben die nämlich nachgeschaut.
She would like to move here tomorrow. And that she could settle on this little house arrangement right here. With the barns and the little house. She can handle this real easy. And she's eating her Swiss potato salad.
It tastes like Mom's.
Little town. This is June's mustard.
Check this out, everybody. Tubes of mustard.
Cubes of mustard.
Toothpaste.
And a beautiful potato salad.
Ma'am, can we have a glass? Just an empty glass. Thank you.
What a sight.
And John, would you like to see me pouring the Swiss wine for you? A little Swiss wine for women. Would you like another bite of potato salad?
Yeah. Delicious. Only one thing better than potato salad.
Mint. Chocolate.
Is right up here
To Hamburg.
from Hamburg,
Hamburg to south of Italy.
south of Italy. Huh.
It's about almost 3,000 kilometers.